Hey everybody, welcome. So basically, I'm building a decentralized movie studio, and a very important part of any pre-production of any film is casting. You can't shoot a movie without actors, obviously, and we're creating a system at Blockchain Studios, eventually for use by A-list agencies, to catalog their actors, work with their schedules, find the excess capacity for these actors, put them in a platform, encrypt that information in the cloud, and then using the blockchain, create escrow accounts for producers and agencies wishing to use their talent in a pay-or-play fashion. So anybody putting $100,000 into an escrow account that's pay-or-play, that money's not coming back. That agency has that money, and so in response, they're providing you now the menu of their actors, their availabilities, their day rates at different budgets, day rates depending on how many pages, etc., contributions to the bottom line, just like any other negotiation. But what we're doing is making this information available to deeper pockets that have liquid assets that could enter this industry, and just by hiring people, just like any other industry, put together teams and build projects that they feel can compete at any level in the movie business, whether it be with Netflix or in the theaters at the $20 to $50 million level. There's a lot of room if the idea is empowering the teams of filmmakers who have traditionally made profits for studios before, and then using this technology to enter the market with them and compete against the studios that are traditionally exploiting these people and taking their profits. Now, we work with the studios, but we want to sell them movies after the fact. Okay, and in the meantime, make sure that the writer, producer, director, actors, crew member, anybody that the producers feel are adding the most value to the copyright, to share in the gross profits of that copyright into perpetuity, just like any other executive or company that owns the copyright. So everybody owns the copyright when it's on a blockchain and it's negotiated peer-to-peer. So now let's get to the casting process. So Mang has submitted for the role of Johnny, which is a lab tech, so it's some real complicated quantum mechanic language, and I've got a lot of different actors from diverse backgrounds submitting for this role, and we just want to see the one who has the best chops, okay? So I saw his video, and I saw the work that he's doing, and I saw his look, and I said, okay, let's get this guy in. He responded, and what I did was I sent him all an email that said, I will be conducting auditions, and I gave the dates, 3 dates, from 10 a.m. to 2. I asked them to pick 2 days and submit their email, and then I would get back to them with the time within that window. So I'm giving them a window of opportunity to say I'm available in that window, and then I'm going to get back with them a 15-minute time window with which they, like any other audition, walk in the room, greet, hey, how you doing, pleasantries for momentarily, and get right to the business of speaking the lines, and then it's a thank you and a kind goodbye, and we're done, and it's professional, okay? And we just go like any other casting agency and get these actors and bring them through the audition process on a video conference so they respond. So here we can see on this spreadsheet that Mang responded with 2 days, and I decided that it was best to bring him in at 11:15 on this first Saturday, the 9th, and that's this Saturday coming up. So I have the spreadsheet with all of their emails right here and their name and their time. So I take that spreadsheet and I'll put it over on another screen so I can refer to it, okay? And then with that spreadsheet, I go to Zoom, and now I'm going to create the meeting. So I'm going to generate, and let's go to the appropriate meeting. So in Zoom, I go to my meetings, and I set up a meeting for the 9th. Okay. Let's sign in. Okay. So I set up the meeting for the 9th. I generate an invitation that allows each recipient of the invitation to enter the room at the given time, and the video conference is basically an audition room. So now I copy the meeting invitation. I go to my meetings. Okay, so let's go to my calendar. All right, let's save that. So I go to my calendar, and on the 9th, I create an event that matches that event, and let's edit it, okay? And when we edit it, we see that I include the same information from the Zoom meeting, letting everybody know that gets this message that this Zoom meeting is happening. Here's the location, here's how to get in, and I've set the controls to where all they really have to do is click the link from their phone or from their desktop or their iPad, and they're in. So now there's my email. I set the parameters. I set some notifications 30 minutes before the day and then a day before the day, just to give them a heads up they'll get an email. Now I can go in and I can add their emails because I have them from the spreadsheet. So I'm going to add their emails, and then I create a list. Remember, all these actors are coming in that Saturday, so they all need to be notified that that meeting's going down, okay? So let's close that. So they all get an email of the initial meeting, and then now that I have them in Gmail, in the Gmail system on Google Calendar, all I need to do now is go to my mailbox and receive their emails. They're all replying here to Gmail, okay? So now with that interface between Backstage, Zoom, Google Calendars, Gmail, okay, I can coordinate this whole thing and get the RSVPs and get them sides, okay? So now once they've RSVP'd and we go to Meng, and Meng accepts, okay? He accepts my invitation from both the calendar app, and I also get it from the email, okay? So now that he's accepted it, I have to get him sides. So what do? Well, I go to the screenplay, I create the sides, and then I create a PDF file. Then I take that PDF file and I upload it to my Google Docs. Now I can start to add the names of the actors from my list. If they're on there and their name will pop up, I just click there. I can add a message explaining to them the sides and any details, and then when I click send, they'll get a link that only they can go to that will allow them to see the sides. So let me cancel that. So now they see the sides, okay? They can print them, watch them, download them, whatever I put up here, and only they can do it. And they can't share the file with anybody else because they're locked into this Gmail system. Okay, so I have a little bit of privacy. Later in the future, this information will be encrypted. It'll be located on the cloud, and nobody can get to it unless they have a special key. And that would be the password that we send out. But right now, we're just using the technologies available to integrate the systems that we'll need to have a throughput that allow our actors to show up on the day and get in this room, in this chat, in this Zoom room that we're creating for this meeting. And then we'll do like any other audition. We'll have our faces up there. Then we'll meet face to face. They'll come in. They get the sides a day or two before for this. You know, it's a little complicated, this dialogue. So I wanted them to be prepared. Okay, it's almost like a monologue. And then they're going to come in, and then the reader's going to read lines with them, and they're going to deliver what they believe is the performance that I'm looking for. And that way, from right off the bat, we're going to be able to see who can really bring what I'm looking for. And do they know what I'm looking for? No. But is it obvious the scenarios and the script? There's enough for them to say, this is just straight dialogue, complicated dialogue that has to be delivered with a timing and almost a comedic timing that will pull it off. So there's one way to do it. We'll let them go through it one time, and then if I have any questions or comments, we'll address them at that moment, and then we'll go again, and then I'll thank them, and we'll be done. And then I can take those videos and share them with the investors that are going to be looking at how we're putting this project together. Now it's backwards in this case because it's a low budget indie, but if you were a CAA and you brought some high level A-list supporting actors in a room and they came in and videoed from their phones or whatever, however they got to the audition, those producers would meet them, look in their eyes, sort of see what they're trying to get, from that audition. And in our ecosystem, that actor sits there and gets on Zoom because they were paid to do that. It's not a free audition. This is an ecosystem where there's enough wealth in the Hollywood movie business to share a lot of those excess costs and the unnecessary expenses that exist in the industry. Pass those down to the people who add the most value in the copyright. Get them into these projects, get these projects produced, and get them back out to the highest bidder via an online streaming media auction platform. So we're building it. If we build it, they'll come. mymovies.us is independent movie studio owned by the fans. Anybody can make a movie at mymovies.com. Anybody can make a movie from $10,000 to even $50 million. Anybody can make a movie on My Movies. But we're developing this technology with My Movies for blockchain studios, which will be delivered to the industry for A-list clients and A-list writers, producers, directors, and filmmakers and agencies and studios to interact in this way, because this is the future. And as you see these high-tech companies and these tech moguls getting into the Hollywood industry, if you don't think the future is getting rid of all the waste, then you haven't seen what they've done to every other industry they've impacted. So cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is the future. We're going out to the crypto community first, opening up to everybody eventually, but the model is that these are self-sustaining, decentralized applications that work on their own, that work in the benefit for those who use them, and disperse the profits accordingly. And in the case of our industry, back to those who add the most value to the film's copyright. So thanks for your time. I hope you got something out of this, and we'll see you at the movies.